Hey everyone, Genome here, coming at you with just a quick video about a contest, some contest winnings I just received. This contest was hosted by James over on WarLord's channel. He had a 200 subscribers contest, and I was one of the two winners. The first winner got a mystery box, and I myself was gifted with 2 of the GatorGuard's Comic Book Protectors. So I thought it was pretty cool. I just got the book mounted in there and all that, and I was going to go ahead and show you quickly what it looked like. So here it is in all of its splendor. The book I decided to put in there is actually an AoK from Unruly Simeon. I did not have the newsstand copy, but he sent me basically, which looks to be somewhere between a 9.5 and a 9.8 Punisher #1, just an AoK. So once again, I can't thank enough Unruly. He sent me some great stuff, and I thought what more befits a winning here than an AoK piece. But here's the actual protector itself. Pretty substantial, and it's got screw-in ends, and this actually prompted me to do something else, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But so here it is, GatorGuard. One little bit of concern, and it may be unfounded, is there's also etchings in the back here, if you can see it. And you can feel it. It's a little bit raised, so I'm almost a little concerned that it might put an impression on the book. I'm not sure that it's tight enough to do that. Probably not. It's probably completely unfounded, but unless I put it together wrong, which I don't think I did, because the edges bolt together perfectly like this. But that's the only one thing. But I really like these covers, man. They're nice and solid. This thing ain't going anywhere. But thanks for getting this to me so fast, James. I really appreciate that. Make sure to check out WarLord's channel if you're into comic book content, of course. So why aren't we all here doing that, right? So yeah, that's what it was. Thanks Unruly, and thanks James. Basically, this was a zero-cost, cool showpiece right here. So loving it, loving it, loving it. But I'm going to make an addendum onto it, in that the case itself reminded me a lot of basically my first hobby love, and that was sports card collecting. And as soon as I saw that case, man, I started thinking about these. So I started digging through the boxes, because I have not looked at these in years, people. Let's just start with it. I started out with baseball. Baseball was my first love in the sports realm, and it was basically consumed basically every nickel that I had. But my favorite baseball player was Jose Canseco. I know you get a laugh at that now, but he was the man back in the day, right? But he wasn't so Cosmo like Wade Boggs or Don Mattingly, man. He was, I shouldn't say that. He was like a magazine cover kind of guy, right? But he was just amazing, man, what he could do. When he hit the 40-40 club, I mean, that was just, it's beyond words. And that man could put a freaking ball into the upper deck. Of course, we know a lot of reasons why that is, but hey, that's neither here nor there. I think this is 86, 85. So I actually had some very early cards, but notice, these three were really hard to get back then. The case, it's got the screw-in types. Now these aren't nice and recessed, basically countersunk like this GatorGuard. If you look at the GatorGuard, there's no, it's completely countersunk and flat in there. So,
isn't that round? You better become round.
No unsightly bumps, but this is like the best of the best. Look how faded the stuff is now. The plastic is starting to yellow real bad. But these have not been out of these cases in 30 years, more than that. Gosh, how long has it been? Yeah, over 30 years, something like that. So I just thought it was interesting. So I had a lot of, these are just some of the ones I had. Choice can take, this is the later one. Upper deck cards tended to be very valuable back then. I don't know what they were, I haven't even priced these since the Beckett magazine in the early 90s, whatever. But and Donruss was getting up there, so it was kind of like, it was weird, the hierarchy back then. It was like Topps, and then Donruss, and then Fleer, and then Upper Deck came around. That was supposedly the creme de la creme, you know, of the card companies. But
the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
And it's funny because I have to do an episode on it, because when Marvel did the trading cards, I can't remember if that was done through, they bought, actually, in my interview with Bob Budiansky tells how Marvel actually bought up one of the trading card companies. I want to say it was Upper Deck, and then they decided to put out their own cards, you know, because, you know, everyone was buying cards back then. So it was very interesting. But then I moved on to like basketball, and actually there's some better cases here. I was a huge Utah Jazz fan, and of course I was a Stockton and Malone fan. I'm not sure why I did this one front to back, probably to save card space. But But this one, if you look here, the cases had progressed a little bit, and these are now countersunk. It's a much cleaner look. And then you have the dual-sided ones, which is pretty interesting little concept. Once again, countersunk, look nice. These are very, very similar to the case here, except for this this black bordering here. And I'll just throw a Dominique one out there. I was a big fan of Dominique too, but then I was huge on basketball. I got football, basketball, hockey, baseball, you name it. I got tons, thousands of cards. I haven't even looked through them in years. Who knows what I even have in there? But like the ultimate casing, and this one seems pretty laughable now, and Lord only knows how much I spent on this stupid thing, but check this bad boy out that I have Karl Malone's rookie card. Bam. See a slight difference there? I expected this thing to be worth, or be worthy of keeping in Fort Knox, but here it is, yeah. Look at this thing. Even this thing's starting to yellow a bit. I probably paid 20 or 30 bucks for this thing. That was more than the card cost. But yeah, it probably weighs about a pound and a half. Pretty impressive, but ain't nothing gonna hurt that card. So this card has once again not seen the light of day or a bit of oxygen since the day I put it in there, and that was probably late 80s when I did this, maybe early 90s. So good stuff. But yeah, it's funny how that this cool GatorGuard kind of like rekindled some memories there. Hopefully, you know what? I'm gonna kill the green screen probably repeatedly throughout this video because it's gonna there's so much green on like this cover and some of those cards, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just cool stuff, man. So thanks for getting that to me, WarLord. These are great little things. I have not decided what I'm gonna put into the second one. Maybe I'll have a video contest, or not so much contest, maybe just I'll let the viewers decide which the next book is gonna be in there. You know, spoiler alert, I don't have any valuable books anymore. Most of my collection was completely destroyed. I've made a couple videos about that in the past, so it's not like I have any high dollar value items to put in there, so it's not a huge deal, but more like sentimental things. I might put my Ron Lim signature I got in there. What was it, Cap 377, that Journo sent over to me as an AoK a long time ago.
Okay, I have spoken.
We'll have to see. So anyway, that's it. Thanks again, James. I appreciate you getting to those to me as fast as you did. You didn't have to send them so quick. Much appreciated. And thanks for hosting the great contest. Thanks for giving out 2 great prizes. And thanks again for rekindling my memory and giving me an idea for a video. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to join the Gene Bank and leave your comment below so I can respond to you. Also, let me know if you collected sports cards back in the day. If you did, which were your favorites? I don't anymore. I don't follow any sports anymore. I don't care less about them. But back then, it was like a really big part of my life, man. And if I wasn't buying comics, I was buying sports cards. And it was like a dual hobby I had. And I worked basically just to do that. Like when I was freshman and sophomore and junior in high school, whatever, I was always working. I always had cash. But every dime I got went into either comics or baseball, or sports cards, or putting gas in the car, motorcycle, whatever. But so there it is. Anyway, rambled on long enough. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, this is Genome, just loving his prize winnings and walking down memory lane. Out.